Well, landowners are often interested in the ability of their property to provide food, water, shelter, and space for specific wildlife species. Today, the Monitor's newest monthly feature, Ranger Nick, shows us a few things that we can do as landowners to evaluate the potential for wildlife habitation.
Well, folks, today we want to talk about what I'm going to call, instead of CSI, you may have heard of that TV show, we're going to talk about Tree SI. And we're going to talk about 4 different components of habitat and how you can go out on your land and determine how good your land is habitat-wise for different kinds of animals. Here's the deal. Habitat is made up of 4 different things. First of all, food. I don't know about you, but over the holidays, had plenty of food. I've got some Starburst here. I love that stuff. So food is a very important part of habitat, absolutely. Water is another critical component of habitat, so we got some water. Space is another critical component of habitat, and for an animal, they need certain amounts of space to survive and reproduce. And then finally, cover is our 4th component of habitat. Places to get out of the weather, places to get away from predators. We've got food, water, space, and cover. And I want to talk today about how you can use those components to determine how good the habitat, the shelter, the place where the animals are going to live, is for animals on your property. Okay, so I want you to check out the website that's on your screen right now, because you're going to be able to go there and select from a bunch of different kinds of animals that you might be able to find on your property. The federal government puts this together, and I want you to go ahead and click on one of those animals. Let's say, like me, you're a big owl fan. I clicked on the barred owl because I'm interested on my land today to determine how good my land, my habitat is for barred owls. We're going to do something today that's called, we're going to calculate, we're going to determine habitat suitability. We call it a suitability index, and it's really cool. It's pretty simple. It ranges from 0 to 1. So 1 is a completely perfect habitat comprised of all 4 of those things, food, water, space, and cover, that an animal needs. 0 is not very good habitat at all. So you can rely on these graphs to determine how good your habitat is for that animal, taking into account different things. According to the website, when I printed off a couple of the graphs on there, it says for my buddy the barred owl, I need to look up what says mean DBH. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. DBH stands for diameter at breast height. Usually that's about 4.5 feet off the ground. So I got to get the average diameter at breast height, and I also got to determine the percent canopy cover of my overstory trees. Can you imagine doing this with a bunch of kids out in the woods, getting your family involved in this, going out to your property and doing a little Tree SI investigation? Oh, it's awesome stuff. New Year's resolution, check it out. So what I'm going to do, I have in my pocket a diameter tape. Now you can use other kinds of measuring tapes. I have a fancy Forester's diameter tape, and I'm going to take this guy, and I know where my breast height is, and I'm going to take him out, and I'm going to wrap him around the tree. I wrap them around the uphill side of the tree, by the way, just best practice kind of stuff. And I don't want to get too close to the tree. I gotta watch there's no poison ivy or anything, but I wrap this around, and I notice on this guy, and this is in centimeters on this guy, so we can do a little bit of quick math on this, and I can tell you that this is about 13 inches in diameter. So I wheel this guy back up, go over here to my little sheet, and I just make a little mark on it, 13 inches in diameter. And if it's 13, I follow it up on my sheet, and for a barred owl, right now, just given this one tree, just one tree, it tells me that based on this tree, this habitat is at a 0.6 right now for my barred owl. Now, I want to get percent canopy cover, and you're going, how in the world do we determine that? Well, it's just as simple as going into your bathroom and grabbing some dental floss and a roll of TP. You're not going to believe this. Talk about the holidays. We got TP rolls and dental floss around. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some of this dental floss, and I'm going to take an empty roll of toilet paper, and I'm going to take 2 pieces of that dental floss, and I'm going to make a little set of crosshairs on my toilet paper roll. I am then going to tape that around my toilet paper roll, and I'm going to go out in the woods, and I might decide that within a little area I'm working, I might want to go out and take 10 little checks of the sky. All I do is I start out in the woods and I look straight up, and if my little crosshairs cross over an area where there are leaves, I call that a yes. If my little cross areas cross over sky, I call that a no. I might do this 10 different times. Go over here, do a little check, yes or no. Go over here, sometimes along a grid, do a little check, yes or no. If I did this 10 times and 4 out of the 10 were yeses in terms of leaves, I would call that 40% canopy cover. Talk about the backyard forester. Anybody can do it. TP and a little dental floss. Well, everybody, I tell you, thank you so much for letting me get a chance to do this with you and for paying attention and putting up with me. I hope to see you again real soon. Don't forget, rangernickuga@gmail.com. And for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick. Have a wonderful start to your new year, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.